Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse is a young adult, I'd say, fantasy post-apocalyptic story about Maggie. She is a monster slayer. In the future, the world, a billion people were killed by the big water, large flooding, probably due to global warming. There was some energy wars and there was a lot of people fighting, but she's living somewhere in either Mexico or the United States, and she is a monster slayer. She can do this because she has clan powers. Certain people have abilities in this world. She has two: the ability to be a little bit faster and the ability to kill really well. So that makes her sort of have the ideal combination for slaying monsters. The beginning sort of part of the book is basically her killing a monster as a bounty for a small town of sorts. And then she gets onto a bigger conspiracy because someone is creating the monsters. So Trail of Lightning, I honestly just saw this at a bookstore. I was there because they had like a bookstore store sale, and I was just browsing the new releases, and what really caught my attention was the cover. The cover is sweet. Look at this. You got like the woman, and she's got like a shotgun and a giant knife, and then there's like a dude, and there's like a car, and you know, that kind of already got me. That just simply the cover alone. Overall, though, the book is it's okay. The book has a lot of action. There's some violence. The characters are well developed, but overall, this is the debut novel of the author, and the story is a tad rushed. I mean that in the sense that normally I give a book 100 pages. If it doesn't interest me by then, I put it down. I slowly got in this book more as it went in. It's about 300 pages, and like the first 100 to 150 are kind of slow. The book is done from a first-person perspective, so there's a lot of eye usage and a lot of info dumps. And then you only get backstory when a character just starts like spilling their guts, or you know, like when she's just like thinking about it. And so the pacing's a little bit slow at the beginning, but there's plenty of elements that are thrown in there and not used again that I didn't like. Like they're like these like ghost things that like can feast on dead bodies, but they're only there for like a small sequence. And most of the plot is going after the witch that is summoning these creatures. There's someone creating these creatures. The creatures can ravage communities, and she basically has to stop it with a new sidekick named Kai. He's nicknamed Big Medicine, and he's got you know, healing powers. So it's up to her and her new sidekick or partner in order to stop these what's going on. So as I said, overall the book is only okay. It kept my interest, but it wasn't like amazing. It didn't like blow me out of the water. I also felt that yeah, it was a little rushed, and it felt what's the word, skeletal at times. I mean that in the sense that there's a sequence where they go to this like sort of supernatural nightclub of sorts, and we find out that there's underground pit fights going on, and if they want to talk to the boss lady that they need to talk to, the only way they can is to sign up to become a fighter. So I thought we were going to get this like sort of sweet, you know, she's going to have to fight her way to the final round and then win and then talk to this lady. Instead they skip to her saying, the lady basically just says, "Hi, you're going to fight for me," the end. And then she fights someone, and I'm like, wow, you just skipped all that action. Like I was looking forward to, you know, having some pit fights, and then you just cut away to that, and that just sort of like deflated me immediately. Also, like the action sequences are really developed, like for the first 2/3 of the book, with the last act is kind of just like group fighting, and they just sort of like the author forgets about it. Sort of, it just sort of like they're just like delegated to the back burner. And it's kind of like, you know, okay. And there's some big things that happen, and I kind of liked, you know, the character arcs and the way they were going, but it just felt like a little cut short. It felt like it needed a little bit more development, is what I mean. It needed more flesh on its bones. It feels kind of like thin as it is. It's like, you know, she's a monster slayer, you know, she's fighting people and bad guys, and you need a little bit more than that, you know. Just where's the, you know, where's the themes? Where's the cool, you know, where's the social commentary, where's all that stuff, you know? There's a little bit in there, you know? There's like enough to like just sort of like make you go, I like this. But there's not quite enough, and I wanted more. So the book, you know, it wasn't like totally unsatisfying, but it just felt like it could have used a little bit more. So I definitely probably might check out the sequels. The author has planned 4 books. The second book's already out, and the third one's on its way. So that's what I feel about Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse.